Have you ever wondered what could drive two privileged young men from Beverly Hills to take the lives of their own parents? What dark secrets could hide beneath the surface of a picture-perfect family? This isn't just a tale of wealth and tragedy. This is a chilling narrative of deception, trauma, and a courtroom saga that gripped the nation. Today, on Chronicles, we explore the deeply unsettling story of Lyle and Erik Menendez, unraveling the mystery behind one of the most infamous family tragedies in U.S. history. Don't forget to subscribe to Chronicles for more gripping true crime stories. Hit that like button if you're intrigued by criminal psychology and courtroom twists, and leave a comment to share your take on this controversial case. The Menendez brothers, Lyle and Erik, appeared to be living the American dream. Born into privilege, they were the sons of Jose Menendez, a Cuban immigrant turned high-powered Hollywood executive, and Kitty Menendez, a former teacher and beauty queen. Their Beverly Hills mansion represented success, luxury, and opportunity. Jose Menendez embodied the American success story, rising from humble beginnings to executive roles at RCA and live entertainment. Kitty had once dreamed of being an actress and supported Jose's ambition. Together, they were a dynamic couple on the surface. But that drive for success may have come at a cost. Jose was described by some as focused and charismatic, but others saw him as controlling and emotionally distant. He allegedly had extremely high expectations for his sons, with little tolerance for failure. Kitty, reportedly battling isolation and emotional struggles, was said to have developed dependency issues and depressive symptoms. Behind the polished image, the household was increasingly marked by dysfunction and secrecy. Lyle and Erik, though close, lived under immense psychological pressure. Lyle, the elder, was seen as more assertive and impulsive. He briefly attended Princeton before being expelled. Erik, more reserved and introspective, was a gifted tennis player and aspiring student, but struggled with anxiety and a deep desire for validation. He even co-wrote a screenplay about a teen who takes drastic action against wealthy parents. According to testimony later presented in court, the brothers allegedly suffered years of inappropriate behavior and emotional mistreatment at the hands of their parents, particularly their father. The allegations were graphic and polarizing: repeated boundary violations by Jose and psychological manipulation by Kitty, who reportedly looked the other way. Whether these claims were true remains debated, but it's clear that something within the Menendez household had gone terribly wrong. Then came the night of August 20th, 1989. It was a quiet Sunday. Jose and Kitty were in their den, relaxing after dinner. Lyle and Erik entered the room carrying 12-gauge shotguns. What happened next would shock the nation. Jose was struck from behind and lost his life instantly. Kitty attempted to escape, but the brothers followed. She was hit multiple times, in the leg, chest, and face, leaving her unrecognizable. Afterward, the brothers left the house, disposed of evidence, and returned to call 911. In the recording, Lyle's distressed voice says, "Somebody's hurt my parents." Police arrived to find the young men appearing devastated. Initially, it looked like a home invasion gone wrong, and investigators believed their story. In the following days, Lyle and Erik publicly mourned. They gave heartfelt eulogies and appeared grief-stricken. But soon, inconsistencies began to surface. There were no signs of forced entry or theft, and suspicions grew when the brothers began spending lavishly on designer clothes, watches, vacations, and even starting a restaurant using their inheritance. They spent more than $700,000 in the months that followed. To detectives, the behavior looked less like grief and more like a potential motive. Still, no direct evidence linked them to the incident, until Erik confided in someone he trusted. In October 1989, Erik revealed the truth to his therapist, Dr. Jerome Oziel. He claimed the years of abuse had become unbearable and that he and Lyle acted out of desperation. Concerned for his own safety, Oziel recorded the confession. Later, following a dispute, Oziel's partner went to the authorities. While the confession was initially protected by doctor-patient confidentiality, prosecutors argued it should be admissible due to potential risk, and won. With the recordings secured, Lyle was arrested in March 1990. Erik, who had traveled abroad, turned himself in. The Menendez case exploded in the media. Their first trial began in 1993 and aired live on Court TV. Millions of viewers were captivated. It marked one of the first times a high-profile courtroom drama played out on national television. Prosecutors claimed the brothers were driven by greed, that they had plotted to eliminate their parents for financial gain. They cited the extravagant spending, lack of remorse, and careful planning. They suggested the abuse narrative was invented as a legal defense. Defense attorney Leslie Abramson countered with a radically different picture. She painted Lyle and Erik as deeply traumatized young men, pushed to the brink by years of emotional, physical, and psychological harm. The defense argued that the brothers feared for their lives and acted out of perceived necessity. Erik's testimony was gut-wrenching. He described in painful detail the years of abuse. Lyle followed, recounting their father's controlling behavior and humiliation tactics. The courtroom was frequently brought to tears. Viewers were divided. Some saw the brothers as cold and calculating. Others viewed them as broken victims seeking escape. In January 1994, after months of emotional testimony, both juries, one for each brother, could not reach a verdict. A mistrial was declared. The second trial began in 1995 under stricter conditions. Cameras were banned, and evidence of alleged abuse was limited. With the emotional impact reduced, the defense lost momentum. Prosecutors refocused on financial motives and the aftermath. On March 20, 1996, both Lyle and Erik were convicted of 2 counts of first-degree homicide and conspiracy. They were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. They were placed in separate facilities and did not see each other for over 2 decades. In 2018, they were reunited at San Diego's Richard J. Donovan Correctional Center. From prison, they continue to speak out through letters, interviews, and the support of online advocates. The Menendez saga struck a cultural nerve. It forced Americans to confront difficult questions. Can severe trauma lead to acts of desperation? Do abuse victims sometimes blur the line between survival and wrongdoing? The case remains relevant. Documentaries, reenactments, and specials continue to explore the story. Series like Law and Order, True Crime and Truth and Lies, the Menendez brothers have reignited interest. More recently, the case found new life on TikTok and YouTube, where younger audiences dissect trial footage and uncover details long forgotten. In 2023, new witnesses surfaced, claiming Erik had spoken about the abuse years before the incident. This has prompted renewed calls for a re-examination of the case. Whether a new trial will occur is uncertain, but public fascination remains high. Today, Lyle and Erik remain incarcerated. Their story is not one of simple villainy, but of deep psychological wounds, blurred moral lines, and legal controversy. It reminds us that behind headlines are complex human stories. So, what do you think? Were Lyle and Erik ruthless opportunists, or victims trapped in a nightmarish family dynamic? Did the system deliver justice, or is there still more to uncover? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this story compelling, explore more true crime investigations here on CrimeBot Chronicles. We shine a light on the shadows of justice, bringing you the stories that challenge perception and reveal the truth. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and stay tuned for more unforgettable stories from the edge of truth.